Philosophy can be looked upon in two ways. Number one, as a methodology or a discipline, and number two, as a way of life. It is exceedingly crucial to make this distinction because if you consider philosophy only a methodology or a discipline, then you will not practice your philosophy. Your high sounding words and pearls of wisdom will signify nothing when applied to your own life. Take three of the most influential Western philosophers: Arthur Schopenhauer, Friedrich Nietzsche, and Jean-Paul Sartre. Schopenhauer and Nietzsche were both German philosophers of the 19th century, while Sartre was the most famous French philosopher of the 20th century. Arthur Schopenhauer is widely regarded as the prophet of pessimism, who taught renunciation as the only way to make life somewhat tolerable. However, he himself never renounced the world, even for a moment. Instead, he remained eager to be acknowledged as one of the greatest intellects of all times. His diatribe against his contemporary and at that time the more famous philosopher Hegel shows him as someone who desperately valued name and fame. When someone pointed out to Schopenhauer the discrepancy between his life and philosophy, he quipped, "It is no more necessary for a philosopher to be a saint than it is necessary for a saint to be a philosopher." You are watching Wisdom of Life. Please subscribe to my channel. Friedrich Nietzsche is famous for his theory of the Superman and eternal recurrence. Nietzsche borrowed eternal recurrence theory from ancient Greek philosopher Stoics. According to Nietzsche, because we are condemned to live the same life endlessly, we must develop a yes-saying attitude in defiance of the world or nature. Nietzsche called this amor fati or love of fate. However, in his real life, Nietzsche remained a confirmed naysayer, complaining, bewailing, and bemoaning one damn thing after another. His fiery moustache was an attempt to hide his lack of what others called masculinity. Jean-Paul Sartre is the most famous of all existentialist philosophers. According to him, life has no inherent meaning or purpose. Human endeavor is useless. He once famously stated, "Life is a futile passion." Thousands of disillusioned young people were swept aside by Sartre's powerful narrative, celebrating meaninglessness of life by taking to drugs and alcohol and thus ended up destroying their lives. While Sartre himself enjoyed all the trappings of a successful upper middle class literati. If Sartre and other existentialists were true to their philosophy, they would look like Diogenes, the ancient Greek philosopher who lived in a tub with his dogs in extreme poverty. And he is the only Western philosopher who practiced his philosophy to the full. Now the question arises, why do philosophers do not live their philosophy? There are several reasons. For example, their philosophy may require the patience of a saint. This is especially true of Zeno, the father of Stoicism, 18th century Dutch philosopher Spinoza, and Schopenhauer, whom we have already referred to. Of these three philosophers, Spinoza comes close to being a philosopher who tried to practice his philosophy. The second reason may be that their philosophy was never meant to be a way of life but only an intellectual discipline, a science like other sciences or disciplines. In this category, we may put Aristotle and most of the 20th century philosophers, from F. H. Bradley to Wittgenstein, Russell, and A. G. Ayer. These were the professional university professors for whom philosophy was essentially a profession. The third reason may be that their philosophy isn't practicable. In this category, we may put two 18th century philosophers, the Scottish philosopher David Hume, who was a skeptic, and George Berkeley, the English philosopher, who regarded matter as non-existent. In both cases, their philosophies were not practicable. The fourth reason may be that their intellect is that of a philosopher, but their character is too weak to bear the burden of their philosophy. In this category, we may put Nietzsche and Sartre, whom we have already discussed. I trust you like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, Wisdom of Life. Thanks for watching.